Welcome back to another episode of the free VST Plugins Detective, where I review, test out, and demonstrate various VSTs. For today, we are looking at the Exakt Lite by SonicBits. Now, one thing I want to say about this plugin right off the bat is when it opened up, it was at this size. I think it was like 150, like this. And I was like, okay, kind of crazy. So one thing I want to say that if you do happen to download this plugin, right when it opens, if this does happen to you, just go to the gear, go to size, and go to 100%. I don't know why it opens up to 150%. Not sure, but I just want to say that just in case that happens to you. Now, when it comes to most synths, in case you haven't watched one of my videos, I typically like to mess around with it. You know, obviously I rate plugins 0 to 5, and I like to mess around with it. So I haven't tried this one out yet. I'm really excited to try this one out. So let's fuel up, and then jump into it. So obviously, I like the GUI right off the bat. Very, very sleek, and I like the visualness too. So you can see like the waveforms and everything. I can adjust the envelope visually. I do like that when it comes to synthesis a lot. So let's play it. Interesting harmonics there. So let's try, okay, so we don't have too many presets. I like to try presets first typically, and then kind of go in and kind of mess around with it on my own. So let's try the late bass. I like that sound. I like the waveform, you can kind of see it like so. That'd be cool for Tech House. Okay. I feel like for this one, we will have more of like a... Yeah. I don't know if I call that an electric piano. Sounds like more... I don't know. Let's try FM bass. I like that one, that's cool. Doesn't really seem too pluggy. Okay. And then I think those are all the initialized presets. So I'm going to initialize it again. Just go to test 22. So we have basically 4 different operators here. We have the algorithms here. So I think this is basically how I can route everything, obviously. So I'll have to mess around with this more because obviously each synth is a little bit different. So let's make, I do like saw waves a lot personally. Yeah, I'll stick with the saw wave. I can do that. So we can adjust the phase here. So I do like that visualness, right, as I do this. Okay. And then this is modulation, but I have to kind of... Let's do this here. Let's send this to 1. So figure out how the routing works. You know, let's go to... I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to start... See how... Okay. I wish that the routing was a little... It made a little bit more sense. Okay, so these are the different combinations, it seems like. Interesting. So if I do this and I go to 5, so it almost seems like that I'm kind of set in my ways, because I thought maybe by clicking this. Okay, so I basically have 8 different algorithm settings, so it seems like. I just want to keep doing this to make sure. Okay, yeah, so I have 8 different ones. So it's going to go DC. Okay, interesting. Interesting, okay. So this is how you can kind of combine different ones. So I could always do like... So this waveform is a combination, it seems like, of all these 4 ones. So if I initialize 4 sines, but if I make 6AD a square wave, for example, Seems like it doesn't change, actually, never mind. Oh, let's go convert it, okay. And then if I make this one, like, say, a saw. Oh, I have to turn it up, maybe. Okay, so basically I have to kind of change the routing a little bit. Okay. Every obviously synth is a little bit different when it comes to the routing and the structure of it. The LFO modulation, though, I'd have to kind of figure out a little bit more. Okay, so if I do this. Okay, that makes a little more sense now. Alright, so now it's making a little more sense. Sometimes it takes a second off so you kind of like mess around with different plugins, see kind of what comes out of it and whatnot, especially messing around with all this kind of stuff. Oh, okay, so I adjust each one individually. Oh, that's for the filter. Okay. This makes A more of like a pluck sound. It's pretty cool. So for this plugin, I do like messing around with it, but being honest, I like the visualness and I like the GUI a lot, but in terms of the sound quality for a synth, I feel like there's some better ones I've used. I'm going to give this one, after kind of messing around with it and whatnot, I think I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. I think this one can kind of create some really cool sounds, and I like that. I like the visualness, especially with the waveform, obviously the 4 different operators, and the way you can kind of do all the modulation. Really, really cool, and I like that, but I just feel like in terms of the sound quality, not the best as other free synths I've seen. So I'm going to give this one 3.5 out of 5. But hey, you know, it's a really, really fun synth to mess around with. I really do like the visualness. I feel like compared to most free synths, it's tough to find one that is really good visually like this. So definitely pick it up.